Hi there, it's Chris Kramer coming to you today from Miami City Ballet, and I am here with Elaine Kudo. Elaine, we're so happy to have you back down here again, and share with us what brings you back again to Miami City Ballet.
Well, the company is working on Golden Section, which is a piece that they've performed before, but it's been a little while, and I gather from the rehearsals that a lot of people have changed spots, and the majority of the men are new and in different spots, the ones who remained. So it needed a little TLC and cleaning up, so I've come down to oversee that.
Great, so they called in the professional, huh?
I guess so.
That's great. I mean, but you've had so much experience, not only dancing and setting Twyla Tharp pieces, but also experience with Miami City Ballet and setting Twyla Tharp pieces.
Yeah.
Tell us, what other pieces have you set for Miami City Ballet?
Well, the first one I came to stage was 9 Sinatra songs, and then I think just the following, maybe a year and a half later, I came back to do Push Comes to Shove. It's a big production, number 36 dancers or something like that. It's a lot. And then In the Upper Room, was the third one that I staged from scratch here. So I really feel like it's kind of a little home away from home for me.
Yeah, I think our dancers are probably starting to feel like that, and everyone here at the company. I mean, it's always nice to see a familiar face come back to do a new work. So
and I enjoy them. I really enjoy the company. I've always thought that they were really, really good, and they've gotten so familiar with the Tharp style, the many different Tharp styles actually that they've done. They just take to it very well, and I'm sure the experience of working with her one-on-one on what was it?
Night Spot.
Night Spot.
Yeah.
Really helped that too.
Definitely. Do you feel like once you know how to set one, you can set them all? Like, or do you feel like each work has a different challenge to it?
I think they really do have a different challenge. They're very diverse musically, and Sinatra is in high heels and hard patent leather shoes for the men. Push Comes to Shove is pure ballet, so point shoes and ballet slippers, and then you move into Upper Room, which has the sneaker group and the point group, and the point work in Push is quite different from Upper Room. Upper Room is a lot more contemporary, sort of jabbing with the point shoes, and that aspect of her work is what keeps me from getting totally bored, because she has so many different styles. But I think there is a common vocabulary that she uses and a common sense of movement that remains throughout. And obviously the more the dancers experience of her stuff, then the more familiar they are. And it's easier each time around. They seem to get it faster every time.
You personally had experience as a dancer, dancing with Twyla Tharp. What was that like for you?
Well, actually, my first experiences with her were when I was a dancer in ABT.
Right.
So she came in, actually it was my very first year in the company, and that's when she made Push Comes to Shove. This is going back to 1975. It didn't premiere till 76. But, and I was brand new to the company, and while some people, when she came in, she was asking for very odd things to happen, and they kind of didn't quite get it, and they weren't as willing to just go for it. And me being brand new and gung-ho, I kind of would try anything. So she liked me right away, and I was in the corps initially, and ended up learning one of the lead roles, which I did for years and years.
That's amazing. What an incredible experience, though.
Yeah,
like
for a
first year
dancer.
Yeah,
and
incredible.
So our relationship, and she came to do maybe 4 pieces on ABC while I was there, and I was always used in them. So started there, and then in 1986 I had my first son, and I wasn't really wanting to go back to the big company kind of format, and she was working with her. It was actually her last full-time company at the time, and that was In the Upper Room had just been made on them, and she needed a dancer, so I ended up joining her company, which is where I it was a great thing to do because after such a long career in a purely classical ballet company, I did a lot of contemporary rep of other choreographers as well. But to move into a company that was pretty much half her dancers from her old group and new dancers who also danced, were more balletic and danced on point. There was one other dancer from ABT who also joined at the same time, Gil Boggs. So we were both there from ABT at the same time. And to really learn from her dancers, you know, just this whole kind of new concept of, you know, moving your shoulders and this sort of loose arms and grounding the weight and everything. So, you know, you think by then it was kind of towards the end of my career and you don't have that much to learn, but it was like opening a whole new door. And also it sort of set me up very well for this new phase of staging her works because I am a ballet dancer primarily, and most of the companies that are doing her works are ballet companies. So when her dancers come to do it, they can show it beautifully, but they can't really explain to a ballet dancer what they need to do differently to make it look like Tharp. And since I had to go through that myself, I can identify with what their issues are, not staying parallel and not grounding themselves, and I can help explain it really well. So I do stage works of hers that are from like pre my time.
Did you ever like foresee yourself moving on to like the next phase of your career and actually setting these pieces? Like, did you foresee that happening? Did you want to do that?
She was actually the one who kind of steered me in that direction. I always knew that I would be like a good coach, and you know, because I retained material well, I pick up fast and stuff like that. So everybody kind of thought that I would be a good ballet mistress sort of thing. But as far as staging her works, some of them I really wouldn't touch because there are people who worked with her, like some of the early stuff that you know, they just know it so much better than I do. And one of them is The Fugue, which is a very, very early work. And you know, there's been talk about maybe me staging it, and I keep saying, no, I don't want to touch The Fugue because I'm not the authority on this one. But like Golden and Sinatra and these pieces that were done before I got there, I did them enough. I was around her. I heard her input, and you know, I got comfortable enough with them that I felt all right about it. But she's the one, when I retired, she was co-direct, like kind of associate director of ABT at the time. And she started a new piece right after I quit dancing, and she's the one who asked me to come in and kind of assist. And that started the whole ball rolling with the stage.
That's great. And if you wanted to share something with our audience about the Golden section,
Right.
what would you want to let them know?
Oh, goodness. It's just really, like you said, not only the ending is explosive, but it's a really super high energy, and it should be just like this burst of, you know, like brightness, and hence Golden section. It was actually a piece that was the ending of a full evening work called The Catherine Wheel that she collaborated with, Talking Heads, David Byrne. On the music. So the music was all commissioned score, and it was rather kind of dark, and it had a story, and I think, you know, after all of this stuff, there was this sort of light, you know, not unlike In the Upper Room, is kind of uplifting and spiritual. And I think, you know, for her, getting lifted out means just like high energy, explosive dancing. So that's what they're going to be seeing, is a lot of that sort of explosive dancing. Some people steer away from it because it does, I mean, the music, it's very 70s. Some of the movement is kind of 70s. Some people tend to think it's a little dated. But I think if you really just kind of throw yourself into it, it's something that you can bring back, and it still has an element of a lot of fun in it. So
It sounds fun to me.
I'm hoping that they're going to feel that way, rather than feel like they're doing some kind of dinosaur of a dance, you know, that they'll get into it and feel that energy. And just,
I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will. Well, anyway, thank you so much for speaking to us today, and I certainly look forward to seeing the Golden section.
I hope you enjoy it.